to my channel. This is an episode of Life of Luba live show, and today my guest is Amy Lucida, who is now a full-time writer and used to be a senior software engineer at Uber, previously at Facebook, and she's gonna tell us in this video about her journey into tech, into becoming a software engineer at these awesome companies. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and stay tuned. Great, so Amy, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you. How's your week overall going?
Oh, it's been great. We just got back from Japan about a week ago, and so I've been doing basically my first week as a full-time writer, which has been great, but also kind of weird because I just came from vacation and my husband is still on vacation because he doesn't go back to work until tomorrow.
Oh wow!
And so it's like, am I on vacation? Am I working? What's my life now?
Yeah, that makes sense. And how do you feel about being a full-time writer now? You don't have to work, and you don't have to go to work anymore.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I do feel like I'm gonna need structure, and so like one of my chores for the week, or not chores, but like tasks, is to start researching co-working spaces, and I have a couple that I'm thinking about, and I'm gonna have to figure that out. But because I'm a creature of habit, like I like structure, and so. I'm like, if I'm just like in my pajamas every day, I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Great. So tell me a little more about how you got into tech.
So I've been doing tech seriously for about 10 years. I started when I was in high school. I took an AP computer science class. I had done some coding before in middle school, but it was like baby coding, where it was something called Runtime Revolution. We were dealing with cards and like buttons, and they had actions, and it was fun, and it kind of is what got me excited. But it wasn't until high school when I started taking like real coding classes. And I liked it right away, but I kind of didn't think it was like I was good at it. And then it took another year or two before I started feeling like, okay, this is actually what I think I want to do. And so in college, I started taking classes more seriously, and the rest is history.
Yeah, awesome. So you got into college studying computer science.
Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it for sure. I took an intro class my first semester, but I didn't necessarily think I wanted to major in it. I did end up majoring in it, but I also majored in literary arts, so I ended up kind of doing both things.
Oh wow! So you did literary arts while you were doing computer science at school?
Yes, exactly. Because I went to Brown, and there's no core requirement.
Yeah.
And so you have more spaces in your schedule to take more classes. And so basically everything I took in my entire time at Brown either went towards my computer science degree or my literary arts degree. And the literary arts degree ended up kind of being an accident because I was taking all these classes anyway. And after a year or two, I was like, I basically had this degree without even trying. I might as well go for it.
So basically when you were doing both of those degrees at the same time, it wasn't because you were still thinking whether you wanted to do computer science full-time or literature, it was just because you had a lot of time?
Yeah, it was. So, I mean, with computer science, after about a year, I kind of thought I wanted to do it full-time because I really loved the community that Brown created. After 2 years, I had my first internship, and I was pretty sure I wanted to do it for like my job. Literary arts was just like I had all these other spaces in my course load. Might as well take some writing classes. I always loved writing.
Yeah.
And after 2 years, I was like, I might as well just go whole hog and get the degree.
So the way you got into Silicon Valley to begin with was, it all started with internships, right?
Yeah, so I interned with Google in 2011, and then I interned with Facebook in 2012. I ended up working at Facebook after graduation because I ended up with a return offer.
Yeah.
And so I did Facebook for 2 years. After that, I decided I want to go something a little smaller. I went to Uber. I was at Uber for 3.5 years. And then I decided I needed to do something totally different and crazy. And now I'm a full-time children's book writer.
So let's just rewind a little back. So you did an internship with Google first, and then you did an internship at Facebook. And I know that you, prior to being a full-time writer, you were a senior Android engineer at Uber.
Yes.
So how did you get into Android development to begin with?
So when I was at Facebook, the team that I was assigned to got disbanded actually the day that I joined, which is funny because the same thing had actually happened at Google. I think it's just, tech is fast, and teams that exist one day don't exist the next day.
Yeah.
And the team that they ended up needing people on was an Android team. And I'd only done Android. I took a class in it in college. It was like a game dev and Android course. And so I had seen it before. And they were like, that's good enough for us. We need an Android person that's more experienced than a lot of our engineers have. Yeah. Congratulations, you're an Android engineer.
And that was, what year was that?
2012.
So it was pre-IP, Facebook IPO?
No, we had just IPO'd, I think. I can't remember. My gut tells me we had just IPO'd. I don't remember for sure.
So, and you said that Facebook was like still kind of, figuring things out?
Yeah, and I think I think it's still the case where, like, you'll think you're on track to do a project, and then things change just because because priorities change, or the environment changes, or you spend 6 months doing something because you think it'll work, and then you realize it won't work for some fundamental reason. Yeah. And things change.
Makes sense. So when they told you, okay, like, you're good enough, let's just go do Android, did they give you any kind of training, or was it kind of like figure things out?
I think it was kind of like figure things out, because I had done Java for years. So Java was very second nature for me. The Android frameworks, they were like, there are tutorials online, and there are like, it was very much like figure it out, like move fast and break things, right?
Awesome. So, and then you just like started as an intern on Android at the time.
Yes. And so I spent the 3 months. We were working on a photos thing on the Facebook app. It was photo sharing. And so we did that. We ended up launching the product at like my last day. It was really exciting because it was like I would walk around, my university campus a couple weeks later and like see people using my feature.
Oh, wow.
It was
That's
amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah,
so it was like huge impact as soon as you work on something as an intern, you could launch it.
Exactly. I don't know if you remember, but back in 2012 or before this summer, you could only share one photo at a time on Facebook. And so this was like a multi-photo uploader. Because you can do it inside of an album, I think. But
so that's huge. People, I guess, still maybe use some legacy code that you wrote.
Honestly, probably. Yeah. Which is embarrassing because it was intern code.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Wow, so you basically did this huge change at Facebook from like one photo upload to multi-upload.
Well, me and a team of people, but yeah.
Oh wow, that's incredible. Amazing. And you mentioned that you went to Facebook full-time after doing that internship. So I'm curious, why did you decide to go to Facebook full-time versus Google? Because I know you've interned at Google.
So my internship at Facebook was pretty great. I really, really loved my time there. Google, I don't know if I just like had it just like didn't feel like a good fit for me. Like it was just, there were some days where my manager would be like, oh, we're waiting on something. Why don't you go play pool today? And like, great, like that's fun. Yeah. But I like the fast-paced environment of Facebook, and like I really think it was a very specific, experience that I had at Google. But
would you say that Google was more like theory, academic?
No, I really think it was just like the team I was on at the time that I was on that team just had a little bit less to do, and it was just kind of bad luck because like no one else. I was in this particular. I was a really young intern. And I was a part of. It was, I don't know what the name of the program is now, but when I was there, it was called the Bold program. And it was for people who were rising juniors. So they were kind of a younger intern age. And we were in pairs, and so you got assigned to a team, and there was a little bit less flexibility because I was in this program, so I couldn't like switch projects the same way that I did when I was at Facebook. And so I think I kind of got stuck on a team that didn't have as much to do, and so like my managers were like trying to find work for me. But I just think I think it was just like we were a little bit stuck because of like what our age was and what our experience level was. But at Facebook, I just loved how fast paced it was, and how they're like, we don't care that you're an intern.
You can go do it and just have like
it was like figure it out. It was like they trusted us to just like
that's awesome.
Figure it out, and like we're smart, we were good. Just you'll get it.
Do you think Facebook is still that way for interns?
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, this was obviously 7 years ago, and I haven't been at Facebook in about 4 years at this point. I would hope so. I would assume so. I mean, my husband works at Facebook, and he's very like. The thought of not giving an intern something to do is like appalling to him. so like from what I gather, Facebook is still a very fast-paced environment, and still really like they still trust their engineers because they're engineers, and like unless you have a reason for them not to trust you. They're going to trust you.
Makes sense. I have a bit of a monetary question.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was an intern in my time and we had Facebook interns, I remember they got huge sign-up offers if they like went to Facebook full-time after doing an internship. Was that the case in 2012 or 13?
It definitely didn't hurt. Like, I don't know. I don't know what, I don't want to say numbers.
Yeah,
I don't know what they are now, but like, it was definitely
It was like very generous.
It was very generous.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. So then you spent 2 years at Facebook full time.
Yeah.
Why just 2 years? I mean, 2 years is still a good amount of time,
I think it was a little over 2 years. Yeah. 2 years. And I think it was just a timing thing. So and actually from what I remember, 2 years is very common for your first job out of college.
Yeah.
I was on the Messenger team for the majority of my time, and I loved the Messenger team. I watched it grow from a team of about 12 Android engineers to about 30 or 40 Android engineers.
Wow.
And it grew big and it grew fast. And it went from being like a product to being an org, and it just became really huge, which was wonderful. It was so cool to watch that happen.
Yeah.
At the same time, a lot of my close friends were leaving to go to smaller companies. And a lot of those people were going to Uber.
Okay.
And part of it was just like a social thing. Like, I missed my friends and I wanted to go with them, but also the idea of starting at a company that was so small, but it was growing so fast. Like, at the time, we were doubling every 6 months or something.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but like, we were growing fast.
That's crazy.
And it was really cool to just, the idea of going into this company where I could have a huge impact, because I was one of the very early Android engineers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wasn't like I was going to a startup. Like, it was about as risk-free as you could ask for.
How big was Uber's engineering team when you joined?
I want to say like 5,000.
Okay.
Or 5,000 total employees.
Okay.
Yeah.
And engineering was...
I don't know engineering, but it felt small. It felt like Android might have been like 50, 60.
Okay.
It was small. And it was...
still sounds much bigger than Airbnb's Android team right now.
It probably was... But like, it's nothing compared to. Yeah. I'm also really bad at numbers. There's probably someone who's watching who's like, it wasn't that. What are you talking about? So if anyone knows, it was in 2015 that I joined. So if anyone has any idea.
So I'm curious. You mentioned that you're really bad at numbers.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, I think it would be really interesting for my audience to know, like, as a software engineer, do you need math all the time?
No. So this is something that always blows my mind. People, especially now that I have this book coming out where like it's about coding, people are like, oh, I'm not very good at math. And I'm like, where did this idea come that computer science is math? I mean, code can be used to do math, or code can be used to perform, create robots, and like math can be a component of it, but like it's a completely different thing. I am good at math, but like to me, like when I say I'm bad at numbers, I'm bad at numerical scale.
I see.
Like you know those PM interviews where they're like, estimate all of the piano tuners in New York. I'm like, well, New York has what, 100 people, 200 people? And they're like, you're an idiot. I'm like, no, I just don't know numerical scale.
That's really funny.
That's why I can never be a PM.
Okay, makes sense. Well, you never say never, right? As I always say.
Yeah, never say never. Who knows? Maybe I will.
Amy, I thank you so much for joining me today, for answering all the questions, and for giving us inspiration and advice around, how to juggle your full-time career with your passion, and then finally pull the trigger to follow your passion. Thank you for being here and taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, and if you guys like this video, I hope you did. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. There is going to be more episodes of Life of Luba live show, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.